Welcome back into Talking Fitchburg. Joined today from the Department of Ag Trade Consumer Protection. We have Michael. He is back. Michael, how are you doing, sir?
I'm doing great. I'm happy to be here.
I'm happy you're with us today. I love the background, by the way. There's a lot of things happening there. You seem
There
very
is.
connected.
Oh, that's what we're trying to show. It's a big digital world out there, so we're making sure we keep you protected in it.
Darn right. It's like the ironclad lock. Ka-ching! Like, I just feel like there's just a lot of metal in the background just clinking all together. Anyway, here we go with fake job scammers using the WhatsApp. As folks do get back to school, maybe looking for that part-time job or you're just searching for a job out there. Job scams still an area that does it's very fascinating to me because it's different now looking for a job and applying for a job than it was even 5 years ago. There's just so much has blown up over the time. And I think we all are like, we want that dream job. And so it just could be really enticing to be like, oh man, this is awesome. I don't have to do anything and I can make money. Let's go. That's
That's
probably not a good idea.
you keyed in on it. The I can make a lot of money doing nothing. Or that right there out of the gate is something you want to look for. And we have seen a transition where historically, you filled out that paper application, you put it in, you waited for a phone call. Now then it kind of transitioned to, well, show up at, particular times we're having career fairs or hiring. And now you just hop online, put in a little bit of information, and, sometimes you even potentially get approved right away. And so all of these have made it easier, but they've also given scammers an opportunity to add a little bit legitimacy to their scams because they mirror how easy some of these processes can be.
Well, let's start with a text message job offer, or text message in general. Getting a message with a job offer that pays lots of money, remote work, buzzword, buzzword, buzzword. Probably too good to be true, right? It sounds so tempting. It sounds so awesome, but yeah, you gotta stop. Gotta stop right there.
Well, that temptation is how they get you, especially in a world now in 2024 where we have a lot of remote work. There's a lot of that teleworking and digital jobs, gig economy, things like that. So it's not uncommon to get a message and think, oh, there might be possible for some of these companies to exist. But of course, what you want to do is do that little bit of homework. If that company that's hiring you is a mystery, you've never heard about them before, and even you do a little bit of research and you can't find them, that's a red flag. Or if they're telling you that, hey, there's an age requirement for you to be in this job, and they're narrowing down those demographics that are very, very specific or difficult to get into, that also is going to be a bit of a red flag. And then, of course, if right out of the gate, if they're asking you for personal information, you submit a little bit of interest, and all of a sudden they're hammering you with your private information and, of course, your social security number, which they'll tell you the need for tax purposes and your W-9. But if that's really immediate, that's a big scary one you want to take a second and think about.
For folks who maybe this is the first time they're hearing about these types of scams coming through, these scams are done on a lot of different levels. So if you get an unwanted text message, an unwanted email, an unwanted phone call that's offering you the coolest job ever, what would you tell somebody to do in that moment?
Well, the first thing I tell them is to take a second, think about what they're offering, and then don't click on any of those links or respond to any of those phone numbers right away. If you think that it's right and you think it's legitimate, take a second and go to the website where that company is located, or use a phone number that you know is real. Don't use the contact information and whatever message was sent to you. And in this case, it's going to be on WhatsApp, right? So WhatsApp's going to send you and it's going to show you displayed, hey, here's who we are, so on. Don't click on the website for that business and that message. Don't give that phone number a call to call their HR department. Go directly to what that company is. And if you can't find it, well, that in itself should tell you that that message probably wasn't a real job. But if it is there, most companies will give you an opportunity to call them. You can reach out to an HR number, give it that trusted source to validate whether or not it's a real job.
Yeah, I like doing the research. I think that's the key there is to stop yourself and do some research and take those extra steps so you don't lose out on giving out personal information that you don't want to. And certainly you may not recognize that it is a scam. So stopping yourself there too. Also blocking unwanted texts. If people aren't familiar with that too, yeah, they're depending on your device, and I don't know all the devices, so I'm going to look to you here, Michael, to answer this question. But how should people block those unwanted text messages?
So you can add a phone number, in your phone book each time you get one of these and block it there. Within the WhatsApp, there are some security features that you can, where it does recognize who your friends are or users are. You can only respond to them. Sometimes I think it's a little bit easier for you to use some of those media apps like WhatsApp because you can truly filter out a lot of the more unwanted stuff. Whereas in other situations we talk about with our regular phone number, you can't always block every single unknown phone number, because you may be calling me or the doctor might be calling, and it's hard to save every single one of those phone numbers because they may be calling from different ones. But with WhatsApp, you just block out anything that's not coming from a recognized friend that's in your contact list.
And for just reviewing, especially for college students going in, I mean, they're still young people, although they're really smart with technology. So you can't count that. But if you are setting somebody off to school, a freshman into college, and they're making those decisions, not necessarily being by their parent necessarily. What would you tell a parent maybe of just to go to your website and check out some resources just in general so they can watch out for scams or just give them the resources they need, i.e. their kids going to school so they don't get scammed on something like this or others?
I would absolutely encourage them to at least know that we exist. We do a lot of work with universities and specifically that demographic you're talking about with young adults to bring awareness to certainly these scams, but also some of those indicators of identity theft. Because now they're getting out there, they're going to be putting their personal information out a little bit more. When you're applying for jobs, you do have to provide social security number, a few more things, and helping them understand when it's okay to give that information and when you might want to pause or ask somebody else to do it. But then we also offer a lot more information on the website that has to do with other areas of life that young adults are going to be getting into, like renting, making sure they understand what their responsibilities and rights are as a tenant. Or maybe they're going to be responsible for getting that car fixed. And so we're going to make sure we share that. And all that's on our website at datcp.wi.gov. We have a whole library and some really specific fact sheets and guides to help you get the information you need.
Yeah, I think it's a great place to start if you're a parent trying to figure out oh my gosh, I have to get them ready to go to college and I didn't even think about this area. I would pick to just go to the website too and just kind of start there. And certainly you guys will answer questions and provide some great places to start. But good to know too that you work with universities. I forget that you're all over the place. I mean, that's part of you being connected. That's why that background's all hooked up and ready to go.
There are 5.5 million of us here, and we're going to try and make sure we talk to every single one of them.
Oh, Michael, you're the best. I appreciate it, buddy. Again, check out the website for more information, and we'll look forward to having the gang back next month. Thank you so much, Michael.
Looking forward to it. Thanks, Jeremy.